8:41 now. Data centers have become one of the fastest growing development issues in Charlotte, bringing promises of economic investment, but also concerns about power use and their impact on nearby neighborhoods.
So overnight, Charlotte City Council approving a basically 5-month pause on new data center applications to give them and other city officials time to study some of the concerns of neighborhoods and potential new regulations. Charlotte City Council member Representative Dante Anderson joins us this morning. Council member, thanks for waking up and joining us. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
A few big votes from last night we want to talk about, but first let's begin with data centers. What does this 5 months, what does this buy us?
Well, it buys us some time to try to figure out what is really the space that we have to operate locally as it relates to what our General Assembly has established statewide. Couple things to understand here. We have Senate Bill 730, which is active right now in the General Assembly. And then, of course, we have Senate Bill 382, which regards to downgrading. And so as the state is trying to figure out how do they handle this proliferation of data centers, that gives us a little bit of time to let them figure it out. But then we also can figure out what are the nuanced approach that we can take locally.
So this morning we've been reporting that Charlotte has more than a third of the data centers that are in North Carolina. We know a lot of folks don't necessarily love the data centers, but they do love the technology. How do you find a fair and maybe an equitable way to build these centers?
Yes, that's a great point. And, the other point to add to that is that data centers have been around in Charlotte specifically since 1990. We have a list of data centers that are relatively large enterprise data centers that have been around for decades. And so this isn't a new idea. It's more about these more hyperscale data centers and where they can reside. But it would make sense, wouldn't it, that data centers would be proximate to the business nucleus of the great state of North Carolina. So we are a banking capital. We're the second largest banking capital of the state. We are a growing health tech. We are a growing just tech in general hub here. And we're seeing other opportunities grow here in Charlotte that rely on the backbone of technology. So I'm not surprised that there are data centers proximate to where we live here.
Yeah, we can't have this thriving business community and tech
right.
and not have data centers to support it. Skipping around just briefly, you all also passed a budget last night. There's, I think, a 2-cent property tax increase, which roughly comes out between $5 and $6 a month for the average homeowner. Knowing that increasing taxes is never a popular thing, what does that get us, though?
Well, I always say when you look at a budget, it should reflect the community's priority. And this budget here does exactly that with a large emphasis on public safety, as we are a growing city, one of the fastest growing cities in the country. Now, the city of Charlotte does not lean on raising taxes too often. And so this is the first tax rate hike in the last 5 years. So we're great stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. But as we are booming, we have to make sure that public safety is well financed, as well as ensuring that our systems and our programs and our services that we provide are well financed as well with a growing population. So I'm never the first one to raise my hand for a tax rate. I live right here within the confines of the city of Charlotte, but this is one within the last 5 years I think that makes sense and invest in the areas that all Charlotte residents care about.
Well, you mentioned public safety. I know that you chair the safety committee within the council, and there was some discussion last night, but no final decision about red light cameras. Your thoughts on that?
Well, really good discussion last night on red light cameras. I think we're going to move forward. I hope that council will go ahead and advance that in the next business meeting where it'll be on the agenda. The meat of it is 10 intersections of our high injury networks will be a part of a year-long pilot program. And we can see through our peer cities and others who have implemented this that it will produce dividends as it relates to a reduction in crashes and fatalities. And so that's what we need to invest in. We already have the line item budget for it, so there won't be any idea around where we need to find the money. It's just a matter of, will the program produce dividends over a 12-month cycle? I hope it will. We'll see. We'll keep our eyes on the data, and if it does, we can advance it to the other 29 intersections of that high injury network.
Yeah, will it make the streets safer? That's
Right.
really what it comes down to more than anything. Final question. The application deadline for interim mayor this afternoon, 5 p.m. The list has more than 70 names. Any names on the list stick out to you?
You know, there are one or two that stick out to me, but as I have said in the past, I'm going to honor this process, both as a reviewer and as an applicant in the process in years past. It's an arduous process, it's tedious, and I'm going to honor every single applicant that has taken the time to put in an application, will come down and speak to us. That's an important element of this as well. You have to come down and speak to council and state your case as to why you feel you're the right candidate to serve as interim mayor. So I'll pay attention to it, but more to come on that. I'm happy that there is some interest in serving in the interim mayor of the great city of Charlotte.
Today is the deadline. I asked you last time we spoke. I'll ask again. Any chance you're going to add your name to the list of applicants?
You know what? I do not have the time in my calendar to fill out an application today. I will continue to serve our great city, and I hope that we have an interim mayor who can galvanize the council and help us move forward on so many important topics as we grow and advance in becoming a world-class city.
Charlotte City Councilmember Dante Anderson. Councilmember, thanks for joining us. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're back after this.